Vaccine mandates leave Mayo Clinic healthcare workers with a choice: get the shot or lose your job. I'm KIMT News 3's Anthony Monzon live with reaction to the healthcare giant's decision.
And our temperatures are cooling off quickly tonight, and I'm tracking some cooler weather for your Friday. A full check of that Friday forecast is coming up.
Plus, a busy day for Minnesota's senior U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. She stopped in the Mid-City talking social media safety and preventive care.
KIMT News 3, coverage you can count on. This is KIMT News 3 at 10.
Thanks for joining us for KIMT News 3 at 10. I'm Katie Lang.
And I'm George Mallet.
First tonight, vaccination or termination. That's the message Mayo Clinic is sending its employees.
KIMT News 3's Anthony Monzon has details on the move from Mayo and joins us live at Mayo. Anthony.
Well, Katie and George, back in July, Mayo Clinic announced all of its employees need to be fully vaccinated by mid-September or go through a declination process that had educational components as well as social distancing requirements. But now the healthcare giant says it's ready to move on to the next phase of its vaccine program, which means all of its employees will have to roll up their sleeves to continue working. Right now, close to 88% of Mayo staff are already vaccinated, according to the clinic. But in consideration of the safety of patients, staff, visitors, and communities, as they say, Mayo is ready to move forward. This afternoon, I spoke with one Mayo Clinic employee who said he understands the pros and cons of private organizations requiring vaccines, but at the end of the day, he believes this is ultimately about saving lives.
You are literally saving lives of your own and others. And, think of the kids. Some of them still can't be vaccinated, so you don't vaccinate, you're like, I'm strong, I won't get it, I get it, I'll be okay, right, but you could still pass it on.
And that Mayo employee you just heard from there says he knows colleagues who at first didn't want to get vaccinated, but later they got COVID and ultimately changed their tune and rolled up their sleeves. Live in Rochester, Anthony Monzon, KIMT News 3.
Thanks, Anthony. Now, Mayo says a review process will be available for staff to seek medical or religious exemptions to a vaccination. Okay, on that note, let's take a live look right now at downtown Rochester and a clear, increasingly cold night because the clouds are gone. We're radiating away the heat.
KIMT Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Erin White joining us now. And Erin, what are you tracking for the weekend?
And did I get that part right?
Hey, you got that right. Definitely seeing that cool or that heat radiating away as we're tracking some colder temperatures tonight. Already, many of us are tipping down into the 30s and 40s, but we got some great weather in store as we head towards the weekend. Got sunshine in the forecast and some rather nice temperatures overall. Today, looking back across the area, we were into the upper 50s to lower 60s, pretty close to average for this time of year with a high around 61 in Mason City and Rochester and around 59 there in Albert Lea. You look at our temperatures now, well, it's cooling off quickly. Down to 39 in Dodge Center, 43 Rochester, 43 Mason City, 45 in Forest City. With a little bit of a wind out there, very light in nature, we are tracking even feels like temperatures down into the upper 30s to middle 40s. So it's a chilly evening and it's going to be a chilly night. Live look over Rochester showing 43 degrees, 46 in Albert Lea. And as we look ahead to your forecast for tomorrow, tracking a cool Friday. But like I said, we got some nice weather in store as we head towards the weekend. A full check of that is coming up.
All right, thanks, Erin. U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar is stopping by the Med-City today to highlight the routine preventative medical services that help keep people out of the hospital. A key piece of context for the senator's visit, the breast cancer diagnosis she received earlier this year following a routine mammogram at Mayo Clinic. Senator Klobuchar is now cancer-free after undergoing surgery and radiation treatment, but her experience has inspired her to hit the campaign trail in support of preventative care.
Make your appointments, get your screenings, remember me in this pink, and you just improve your chances so much for a good outcome. I put it off too. I know the mind tricks that can go on where you have an excuse to put off making an appointment. Stop doing that and make your appointment.
Experts that spoke alongside Senator Klobuchar this afternoon say there has been incredible progress made on cancer treatment in recent months, which have made care more individualized, targeted, and less invasive.
Our senior senator really had a busy day today. Klobuchar also conducted a virtual roundtable with Minnesota parents to discuss youngsters' use of Facebook and Instagram. During the discussion, the senator heard parents' concerns about the platform's content and privacy policies, including how Facebook and Instagram profit from children's data.
It's terrifying.
Parents are concerned about children's privacy and mental health when using Facebook and Instagram.
There was a time I was trying to talk to her and I kept telling her to put her phone down and she kept bringing it back up because every time it would ding or it would buzz, like she couldn't stop herself.
Facebook's been under fire since earlier this month when a whistleblower came forward and pointed out how Facebook algorithms target children. Facebook's own internal data shows posts led teenage girls to eating disorder content.
Facebook reminds me of the tobacco companies who, knowing that something is bad, will prioritize profits over anything.
Senator Amy Klobuchar believes in a multi-layered approach, including a federal privacy law for social media platforms, a competition policy to allow for new regulated media platforms, and more transparent algorithms.
Right now, the tech companies, no matter how bad the content is, they can just do whatever they want.
Several parents said it's impossible to take social media away completely when sports and schools give out information on Facebook. Parents also want more education for them on navigating the site and talking to youngsters.
I don't know that I have a good answer, but I'm just really happy these issues are being addressed.
Last week, Klobuchar participated in a hearing with Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen, a former Facebook employee who shared new information about how the company promotes content to children and its practices for addressing misinformation. Klobuchar announced in September that she supported the company's decision to pause development of a kids' version of Instagram. Still ahead, an important vote tonight regarding the blue heron nesting site, or rookery, in Olmsted County. What the board decided.
Nobody ever wants to really go out on strike. They just want a fair shake.
And John Deere workers in Iowa are off the factory lines and on the picket lines. Look at their movement.
KIMT News 3 at 10, live from Rochester. Your local news with KIMT News 3's Katie Lang and George Mallet. Tracking storms with Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Erin White. This is KIMT News 3. More local news that is happening now from your community. We are coverage you can count on.
Minnesota health officials reported an additional 2,919 COVID cases and 25 more deaths today.
As the state's positivity rate continues to climb toward the high-risk mark, there are also a reported 52.3 daily new cases per 100,000 Minnesota residents, and that puts the state well above the line considered high risk, and it's the highest that figure has been since the middle of December last year. Governor Walz said today there is, quote, no excuse for these numbers because we have a vaccine. He says 87% of the people hospitalized right now are vaccinated. And today, all 25 who died were unvaccinated. The governor says this surge in cases is compounded by a lack of healthcare workers and hospital space.
With the shortage of workers and with the shortage of those beds, this is a cascading effect where when people are recuperating after they've had whatever it is, whether it is COVID or whether it is a surgery, a heart attack, chemotherapy, whatever it is, many times they move to long-term care, they move to facilities where the next tier down from a hospital. We don't have anywhere to put them right now, anywhere to go to, both in staffing and in space.
To make that point, this is a look at the availability of ICU beds in the state. In southeast Minnesota, only 8 ICU beds are available. That's a mere 3.6% of all the ICU beds in our region.
Only at 10, an important vote for the embattled blue heron nesting site in Olmsted County is tabled. It was standing room only tonight at the Rochester Township Board meeting, packed with concerned citizens in the Save the Rookery group. The bird habitat could be threatened by a potential housing development that the Rochester Township Board discussed tonight. They heard from the Planning and Zoning Board, but did not allow for public comments. The proposed housing development would involve cutting down some of the trees in the nesting area and constructing a road through the site. The board decided to table the vote. They'll tackle it at their next meeting set for November 11th.
George Floyd would have turned 48 today. A look at today's celebration at 38th and Chicago in Minneapolis as people remember Floyd's impact.
And I'm tracking a couple light rain showers out there right now, but otherwise we got some sunshine and some great weather in store as we head towards the weekend. A full check of that weekend forecast is coming up next.
We track storms to alert you first. This is KIMT Storm Team 3, weather coverage you can count on.
We're joined now by KIMT Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Erin White.
And Katie, you weren't here earlier, but the exploratory committee has confirmed that if Erin were to run for office, he'd probably win, no matter who was running against him.
Hey, maybe it will at some point, at least we are tracking some, decent weather, so maybe it will happen.
Just respect the trend, brother.
You got to, exactly. So as we head into the day tomorrow, we are tracking some cooler weather for your Friday. The weekend, though, would be one to run for office as we're tracking a lot of sunshine. We got temperatures in the middle 60s by Sunday. A beautiful weekend is in store. But looking at our forecast for tomorrow as you're heading out the door, looking at some cool weather in the morning hours as we're going to be into the lower 40s. But by the afternoon, looking at highs right around the middle 50s, calling for a high near 55 degrees. The wind on the light side in the morning, but it will pick up a tad, about 10 to 20 miles per hour for the afternoon. So a little breezy and with some cooler temperatures, it's just going to feel like a cool day across the entire area. Now, tonight, we are tracking at least a few rain showers out there. Very light in nature, not going to amount to anything, but if you are stepping out the door, don't be surprised if you get a couple sprinkles on your windshield. Really nothing to worry about, but you can see them tracking here around Northwood, Mason City, Forest City, tracking to the north and east into southern Minnesota eventually, but really not going to see that amounting to anything really aside from maybe 1/100 of an inch of rain for tonight. All of this will be building into the north and east, and most of it's going to miss our area, but we are going to see the clouds in place through tonight, so that may keep our temperatures up just a little bit, but they're already rather chilly, so we're not going to really cool down too much from where we are right now. But what's going on is that big low pressure system that brought us the wind and rain yesterday, the snow out in western parts of South Dakota, that has moved out of the region, and now we're going to see a high pressure building in, and that's going to allow for a lot of sunshine over the weekend, but it's also helping to send in some colder air. So by tomorrow, like I said, we're tracking highs into the middle 50s. Tomorrow night, though, Saturday morning and even Sunday morning, we're likely to see temperatures like North Platte is seeing right now, 36 degrees. Many of us will be seeing temperatures in the mid to upper 30s by your Saturday morning. So looking at our forecast through tonight, again, a few showers, really light in nature, not really going to amount to anything. By tomorrow morning, starting to get rid of some of the cloud cover across the area. So we'll see sunshine here and there throughout the day. Got sort of a mix of clouds and sunshine for your Friday, but keep in mind, it is going to be a cool day. So as we look at our forecast for tonight, temperatures dropping down into the lower 40s. Many of us are already there, so not going to drop much from where we are right now because of the clouds moving in and a couple light rain showers out there. Then for tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Temperatures a bit cooler than today with highs in the middle 50s for the most part, maybe some upper 50s there around Forest City and Garner at 58 degrees. Your 7-day forecast for the weekend is always in view, showing beautiful weather for the weekend. Sunshine for both Saturday and Sunday. Notice those overnight lows in the upper 30s though, so some patchy frost not out of the question for Saturday and Sunday morning, but otherwise we are back to near 70 to kick off the next work week.
All right, thanks, Erin. Well, new at 10, today would have been George Floyd's 48th birthday.
Family and friends honored his life and impact near the intersection where he died, George Floyd Square in South Minneapolis, also 38th in Chicago. There was food, music, a candlelight vigil. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, of course, was convicted of Floyd's murder in April. The case fueled a national reckoning on racism and police brutality. 3 other former officers, J. Alexander King, Thomas Lane, and Tu Tao, also charged in Floyd's death. Their trial now slated for March.
Well, the proportion of women in senior management roles globally grew to 29% in 2019-2020. That's according to the nonprofit group Catalyst. Iowa State University President Dr. Wendy Winterstein shared her experience in higher education as part of the Mason City Chamber of Commerce's Breaking Glass Leadership Series. Now, when it comes to new leadership opportunities, the doctor says it's worth including women in the conversation.
We have individuals that are working hard, performing well, and when you think about opportunities to have someone have an experience in leadership or an administrative appointment, that you give women that opportunity to see what that would be like.
Dr. Winterstein says there still is a glass ceiling when it comes to women entering the STEM fields of science, technology, engineering, and math.
Compensating local victims of sexual abuse in the Catholic Church. The bankruptcy reorganization plan of the Diocese of Winona-Rochester has been accepted by federal authorities. That plan provides a trust fund of $28,656,000 to compensate survivors of sexual abuse that happened inside the diocese. The Diocese of Winona-Rochester says it filed a petition for relief in November of 2018 and since then has worked toward an agreement with abuse survivors for a resolution of sexual abuse claims against the diocese. Bishop John Quinn responded saying, "I welcome today's announcement. I want to express my sincere apology to all those who've been affected by sexual abuse in our diocese. I pledge my continuing commitment to ensure that this terrible chapter in the history of the Diocese of Winona-Rochester never happens again."
We have another update for you on the Highway 14 project. Some good news for drivers. The Minnesota Department of Transportation says it is planning on opening the new highway to traffic November 1st. MnDOT says traffic may only be open one lane each way at some points, but the project should be nearing completion by the start of next month. Dodge County commissioners learned of this update at their meeting October 12th. The new 4-lane highway replaces a 2-lane portion of the road between Owatonna and Dodge Center.
We don't normally talk about Christmas before it's even Halloween, but you might want to start shopping now. How supply chain issues are already impacting the upcoming holidays.
Plus, about 10,000 United Auto Workers went on strike against John Deere today. A look as the employers are on strike for the first time in 3 decades. Some 10,000 union members went on strike against John Deere early this morning. The strike shuts operations at 11 factories in Illinois, Iowa, and Kansas, in 3 distribution centers in Georgia, Illinois, and Colorado. Cynthia Fodor spoke with picketers in Ankeny about the strike.
Trucks drive in, crossing the picket line as big farm equipment continues to pull out of the massive factory. Lots of people passing by show their support for the picketers. But the workers are silent, somber, serious.
Nobody ever wants to really go out on strike. They just want a fair shake. They want a fair contract like any other union member.
AFSCME member Melissa Speed came to stand with her UAW brothers and sisters.
We have to look out for each other. Solidarity, that's what it's about.
People are finally fed up. They're fed up and they're tired of it. and they're not going to have it anymore.
The Iowa Federation of Labor president also walked the line over at the Ankeny Distribution Center.
These are people who have worked their tails off for a really long time. They just want their share of the wealth that they helped create for the company.
Deere is earning record profits while the company's CEO reportedly received a 160% raise last year. Workers are asking for a safer workplace, a bigger share of the pie, and better retirement benefits.
They're striking for people who haven't even been hired yet, because one of the problems here is that they want to take the retirement system away from new hires.
The company sent us a statement saying John Deere is committed to a favorable outcome for everyone involved and to reach an agreement with the UAW that would put every employee in a better economic position and continue to make them the highest paid employees in the agriculture and construction industries.
Now, this is the largest private sector strike in the U.S. since the United Auto Workers waged a 6-week strike against General Motors 2 years ago. It's reportedly the first strike at John Deere in 35 years.
Hey, the Apache Mall is going to be closed on Thanksgiving Day. The mall releasing a statement expressing the hope this will allow the community to spend more time with family and loved ones. Apache Mall will open at 9 in the morning then on Black Friday, November 26th, to kick off holiday shopping. Extended holiday hours are set to begin December 10th and then run right on through Christmas Eve.
FDA vaccine advisors voted unanimously this afternoon to recommend emergency use authorization of a booster dose of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine. It'd be for certain people 6 months after their second Moderna shot. The CDC will make the final decision. The first and second doses of Moderna shot are 100 micrograms each. The FDA in August authorized a third shot of 100 micrograms for some immunocompromised people.
Well, it's still 3 months from Christmas, but it might be time to get started on your kids' wish list. A look at what you could find or not find in local stores this holiday season. New at 10 struggles with the supply chain, raising concerns among consumers and retailers alike. Will that special gift be available? Will the store shelves just go bare when you go shopping?
Yeah, yesterday, President Joe Biden announced what he called a 90-day sprint to eliminate bottlenecks that have contributed to empty shelves and higher prices. Esme Murphy looks into your chances of finding what you want in local stores this holiday season.
Electronic giant Best Buy's CEO went on the Today Show saying the company's shelves are well stocked.
We're going into the holiday with 20% more inventory than we had 2 years ago, 50% more than last year.
Target put out a press release saying our inventory is up substantially over the same time last year. Experts say companies are trying to reassure customers, but the reality is any store could at any time have low supplies or be out of a certain item.
It's not going to hit all companies equally. Availability is going to be varied across places. So check all the usual places and some of the not so usual places.
To blame are increasingly sophisticated products and the soaring worldwide demand in recent months as consumers try to creep back to pre-pandemic lives. One thing is for certain.
Do consumers expect that things will be more expensive?
Yes, there is no doubt that that is hitting almost every durable goods industry. Inflation is a bigger deal in these shortages.
Experts say if you have that one item you know you want to buy, you may want to buy early. But while buying early in past years has usually guaranteed a pretty good price, experts say with fluctuating supplies, some of the best deals could be later in the season. That is, if stores haven't run out.
Well, Amazon says they are, quote, confident we can meet our customers' needs this holiday season. I guess only time will tell. We'll leave tomorrow morning on Daybreak. It is unfortunately not too early to be thinking about winterizing our vehicles.
Hush. KIMT News 3's Alex Dieter is giving some tips to get your car ready for icy and snowy roads. Do we really have to talk about this? That is tomorrow morning on KIMT News 3 Daybreak. Erin?
Too soon.
Yeah, I'm with you. The meteorologist says too soon.
Yeah, luckily we don't have any of that in the forecast. That's the good news. No snow, not even for the foreseeable future. In fact, we got some nice weather in store as we go into the weekend. Tomorrow going to be a little bit on the cool side. Temperatures starting off into the lower 40s around 7 o'clock in the morning as kids are heading off to the bus stop. By around lunchtime, we are looking at a little bit of sunshine here and there, sort of a mix of clouds and sunshine for the day tomorrow with a high right around 55. There will be a westerly breeze through the afternoon, 10 to 20 miles per hour, so it's going to be a cool day across the area. Now, as we go into the weekend and also for next week, tracking temperatures to be back above average by Sunday and Monday, highs back in the middle 60s, even near 70 by Monday. And as we look at the overall forecast for the weekend, we are tracking sunshine on both Saturday and Sunday. A little breezy at times on Saturday with about 10 to 25 mile per hour wind, but Sunday looking great, mainly sunny skies, a high right around 66 degrees, but just keep in mind, morning lows going to be in the upper 30s. Could be talking about some patchy frost across the area this weekend.
All right. Thanks, Erin. And thank you for making us your choice for local news.
We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning at 4:30 for Daybreak, and then we'll all be back here tomorrow night at 10.